What do you do when the person who stabbed you in the back shows up at your door asking for your help? We live in a world that tells us to seek revenge. When someone hurts us, we are told to cut them off, hold a grudge, and make sure they pay through the nose for what they did. But holding on to anger is like holding a dull knife. It won't cut through the wood, it just slips and cuts your own hands. Pull up a chair. Let me tell you the story of Samuel, a man who proved that true strength isn't found in getting even, but in knowing when to let go. Samuel was 68 years old, and he was a master woodcarver in the quiet foothills of North Carolina. His small workshop smelled of pine shavings, beeswax, and motor oil. For 30 years, people came from all over the county to buy his hand-carved rocking chairs, dining tables, and delicate wooden statues. Samuel was a straight shooter, a soft-spoken man whose word was as solid as oak. But beneath his calm exterior lay a deep, old scar. 40 years earlier, when Samuel was 28, he wasn't working alone. He had started a custom furniture business with his childhood best friend Marcus. They had grown up together on the same dusty street, shared their first tools, and spent endless nights sketching furniture blueprints on butcher paper. Samuel was the craftsman, Marcus was the salesman. They were an unstoppable team, or so Samuel thought. In the autumn of their 28th year, a large commercial distributor offered to buy their designs for a national retail chain. It was the break they had dreamed of for years. But the contract required exclusive rights, and Marcus wanted to take all the credit. Without telling Samuel, Marcus signed the contract behind his back. He took Samuel's original blueprints, filed the patents under his own name, and forced Samuel out of the business with zero savings. It was a hit below the belt that nearly destroyed Samuel. He lost his shop, his savings, and his trust in people. While Marcus went on to build a multi-million-dollar furniture company in the city, Samuel was left starting over from scratch in a small dirt floor shed behind his house. Over the years, Samuel learned the hard way how to survive on his own. He never spoke Marcus's name, and he never set foot in the city again. 40 years passed. It was a chilly, overcast Tuesday evening in mid-November. The rain drummed softly against the tin roof of Samuel's workshop. Outside, an old sedan pulled up to the curb, and a driver waited in the car while a frail old man stepped out into the rain. The front door of the workshop creaked open. Samuel looked up from his workbench, wiping down his chisels. His eyes narrowed. It was Marcus. For a long moment, neither man said a word. The only sound was the steady drip of rain outside and the hum of the overhead lamp. Decades of silence hung heavy between them. Samuel felt a sudden spike of anger in his chest. The memories came flooding back: the betrayal, the sleepless nights, the humiliation of starting from nothing. "You've got a lot of nerve coming here, Marcus," Samuel said, his voice flat and cold. Marcus swallowed hard, taking a hesitant step forward. He looked frail, broken by age and illness. "I know, Samuel, I know I have no right to stand in your shop." "Then why are you here?" Samuel asked, keeping his hands flat on the workbench. Marcus reached slowly into his coat pocket and pulled out a small worn leather pouch. He unrolled it on the wooden table, revealing an old carving knife. The handle was dark mahogany, pitted with wood grain, and the steel blade was rusted and dulled by time. Samuel recognized the mahogany handle instantly. He had hand-carved it himself 40 years ago as a gift. "My hands aren't what they used to be," Marcus said softly, his voice trembling like his fingers. "Parkinson's. The doctors say I have maybe 6 months before I lose full control of my hands." Marcus looked down at the dull blade, tears welling in his eyes. "My 4-year-old granddaughter Lily, she asked me to carve her a wooden rocking horse, just like the one we built when we were young. I tried, Samuel, but my hands shake too much to use a power grinder, and no blacksmith in the city knows how to hone custom carbon steel like you do." Marcus met Samuel's eyes. "I know what I did to you. I know I destroyed our friendship for money. But I'm asking you, not for me, but for a 4-year-old little girl. Please sharpen this blade one last time." Samuel stared at the rusted knife on the table. In that moment, he had all the power. He could have laughed in Marcus's face and turned him away into the rain. It would have been a no-brainer for most men. For a long moment, Samuel hesitated. Every fiber of his being wanted to tell Marcus to leave. But then he saw the quiet desperation in his old friend's trembling hands. Samuel stood up silently. He walked over to his sharpening station, filled a shallow pan with water, and retrieved his finest Arkansas whetstone. He picked up the old knife. Without saying a word, Samuel sat down at the stone. He poured a few drops of water onto the surface, angled the blade at precisely 15 degrees, and began to draw the steel across the wet stone. Swish, 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 the rhythmic sound filled the quiet workshop. Marcus stood by the door watching in complete silence. Samuel worked with steady, practiced hands. He ground away the heavy rust, reshaping the edge, smoothing out the nicks, and polishing the steel until it glowed like silver. With every stroke, Samuel felt the old resentment slowly dissolve. He found himself thinking not of the betrayal, but of the years they had shared before it, the laughter, the long nights, the young dreams. The rust wasn't just coming off the steel, it was coming off his heart. Water under the bridge wasn't just a phrase, it was a choice to stop drowning in the past. After 20 minutes of precise labor, Samuel picked up a strip of thick leather. He stropped the edge back and forth until the blade was so sharp it could slice a sheet of paper effortlessly in mid-air. Samuel wiped the blade clean, placed it back into the leather pouch, and walked back to the front counter. He set the pouch down in front of Marcus. "It's ready," Samuel said quietly. "It'll hold an edge through the whole rocking horse." Marcus stared at the shining knife, then looked up at Samuel. Tears streamed down the old man's wrinkled cheeks. "Why?" Marcus whispered, his voice cracking. "After everything I stole from you, after how badly I cut you, why would you do this for me?" Samuel looked at his old friend not with anger, but with deep compassion. "I didn't sharpen this knife for the man who betrayed me 40 years ago," Samuel said gently. "I sharpened it for the young friend who used to share a workbench with me, and for the grandfather who wants to make his granddaughter smile today." Marcus lowered his head and wept silently. He picked up the knife, held it against his chest, and looked at Samuel. "I'm sorry, Sam, for all of it." "I know," Samuel replied. "Go home and carve that horse, Marcus." Marcus nodded, turned around, and walked back out into the rain to his waiting car. Samuel stood by the window, watching the sedan pull away until its taillights vanished into the evening mist. He stood there for a long time, feeling lighter than he had in decades. The anger that had lived in his chest for 40 years was completely gone, replaced by a quiet, unshakable peace. My friends, are you carrying a grudge against someone who hurt you years ago? Are you holding on to a dull knife that is only cutting your own hands? Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened, and it doesn't mean letting people walk over you. It means choosing to sharpen your own peace of mind instead of sharpening your revenge. Let go of the bitterness, because life is too short to carry heavy stones in your heart. I'm Grandpa Ben, and this has been Grandpa Ben's Story Hour. Thank you for sitting with me today. If you needed to hear this, subscribe and join our storytelling family. Until next time, take care of yourselves and remember to protect your peace.